Hello and welcome back to VHawks Podcasts. I can't speak for Matt, but I think I know that we've got some shakeups going on in these rankings.
He's probably
So
not
without
going to be
further
happy with
ado,
me, so let's get to it.
huh? Okay. Ooh, Vikings at 2. For a second, I thought you said I'd be unhappy with you.
I did.
I like this. Um, this is very good. See, I was debating dropping the Eagles to 3 because of their squeaky win against the Panthers, but we've done that a couple times, albeit it was like a month ago. So I was like, I'll give the Eagles the benefit of the doubt.
If the
But nice
Panthers
to know that
receiver
you
caught a
nice to know
ball,
that you followed my thought process.
if a Panthers receiver caught the football, Eagles would have at least been down by one.
Right. That's true. We
Lions,
pretty
I
much
still have
had
them as
control
best.
or got ourselves control. In the end, we both have Steelers the same, Bills the same, Chiefs the same. Wow, okay. Look at us go there. That's awesome. And then, okay, you have the Packers above the Ravens. See, I didn't want to move the Ravens because of their bye week. Um,
Packers, just because they kept it close with the Lions, I kind of gave them a little bit of a moral victory win because the Ravens haven't looked amazing recently.
gotcha. Yeah, I think the Ravens actually, yeah, I think the Ravens and Packers actually ended up flip-flopping on my list just because I was like, well, I don't want to move the Ravens down from bye week. Doesn't like I just didn't feel right about it. But I understand how you did it because again, ours are just flipped. So anyway, I think the Rams. I'm not. I was like this after the Vikings played the Rams. Granted, Nakua was not on the freaking injury report, so there's all that going on. Um, that was there, but the Bills were able to fully prepare for the Rams, and they still lost after a perfect game from Josh Allen. And it just goes to show you when that healthy Rams team shows up, which they are now, they are very dangerous. So I think they deserve to be in there. That's why I bumped them up a bunch of spots.
So, like,
Broncos and Chargers moved down as a result. But
in the
wow,
past 4 weeks, they struggled against the Patriots, and the Patriots went up and down their defense. The Eagles ran all over them. Struggled against the Saints, where the Saints were at the goal line to take or to at least tie the game.
hmm
And this week, honestly, if the Bills don't have the punt blocked, who knows how that game goes? Um,
right. Well, the Eagles are on the second longest win streak in the NFL after the Lions. So that kind of makes sense. And then the Rams are kind of like the Vikings where they play down to their competition like we did with the Jaguars. So, I
but it's
mean,
just also with their record, like they're still only 7-6. They're just above 500. So if they keep going the way they're going, yeah, they'll be in the top 10, but I had to give Seattle a little bit of credit just for 4 straight wins. Um, Chargers, I wasn't going to kill too much for the loss to the Chiefs because that should have doinked out. But that's another conversation. Broncos, yeah, just kind of stayed where they were, I believe. Ravens, I switched them with the Packers just because Packers kept it close at least to the Lions, so I'll give them that. Ravens haven't looked great, especially on their defensive side. Chiefs, I don't know where I had them last week, to be honest, but they just keep getting
I
by.
think you did have them at 6 actually because you early dropped them.
Yeah, so Chiefs just stay where they are. You barely won that game and honestly should have probably been an L, but you stay where you are. Um, Bills dropped them a little bit just because that defense is a little bit worrisome, but seeing Josh Allen play that game where I don't think he had any turnovers, which still good to see. Steelers probably moved him above the Bills just because Dominic went against the Browns, which makes up for their loss a couple weeks ago. They're still clicking. Eagles moved him down from 2 just because um, should have probably lost that game against the Panthers. And even though then you barely beat the Panthers, I'm not going to credit you. I will hurt you for it though.
hmm
Vikings dominate win against the Falcons, and Lions stay where they are.
And that was my thing too. Is last week I gave the Eagles their credit and put them at 1. They don't drop 2 spots after a win. So If I had put them at 2 last week, I think I'd have the same top 3 as you, and by default, same top 6. But yeah, that was my bad putting the Eagles at 1. But had to be different, and they deserved it at the time. But yeah, I mean, the Broncos stayed where they were for me. I just put the Chargers down to an honorable mention. I forgot I didn't have an honorable mention last week. That's right. Um,
It was just me with the Commanders, and I think the Commanders
yeah.
had a bye week. And
Yeah, if you asked me for 12 and 13, I'd probably say Seahawks or Commanders. So something
the
like that.
Commanders have still been a little shaky. Seattle have actually been having decent wins, which early in the season they did not. Um, so just want to give them a little bit of credit. Now with the Packers game Saturday or Sunday, we'll talk about that one once we get to predictions. But yeah,
All right. Yeah. Uh, to be
so
honest, a lot of the teams in here haven't changed too much. So, a lot of the teams are what we think they are. Really only stuff that changes are in the bottom. But that's to be expected as some teams start to emerge and some teams start to fall off. So, but as of right now, we kind of know each team's identity in the top, I'd say 8 or so. And I think pretty much everyone in the top 8 is capable of making noise in the playoffs and possibly causing some upsets to the Lions, Chiefs, the 1 seeds currently in the NFL. So we'll see what happens. It'll be interesting when we get there, but I think those top 8 are probably all going to be locked.
if the way things shake out continue to go the way they're going, we might have the earliest lockups of the playoff seeds ever. Just because it's been so lopsided where you have some really bad teams and you have like really good record teams. Um,
Right. Well, we have four teams now with the Chiefs, Bills, Lions, and Eagles. Vikings can clinch. I believe the Steelers can clinch, right? Both of them can clinch with a win.
I'm not sure
Um, I think Packers need another game to clinch or certain teams to lose with their win to clinch. Actually, yeah, they can't clinch because we're 2 games ahead and we have to win to clinch. So yeah, they're um Vikings clinch with win. I think Steelers clinch with win. Uh
but it's like already
Broncos have a situation where they can clinch a wild card spot because they have the head to head against Indy. Um, which is weird to think, but
because we already have 7 teams eliminated and 4 teams clinched. So
yeah,
it's already a
and like 5 of
third,
those teams are AFC teams. That's why.
but still, that's a
That's why the
third of the
Broncos can
league that we
clinch.
already know are going to be in the playoffs or aren't going to be in the playoffs. And honestly, we might be seeing more with if Chicago keeps collapsing, if Carolina probably loses. Actually, if probably it is. If Carolina loses another game, that's probably it for them. Um, and not
Yeah.
sure for Dallas, they might still be alive for at least another 2 games or so.
Carolina's hopes linger on the fact of Buccaneers and Falcons continue to lose,
Yeah.
and the Saints technically. So, but as soon as the Carolina Panthers lose or the Bucks win another game, they're out. So,
And then Cincinnati's probably on the fringe too. They got saved on
yeah.
Monday.
As are the Dolphins. So yeah, I get so as there's 4 right now. So I think the 4 that can clinch this week are the Vikings, the Steelers, the Broncos. Um, is that it? Is there just 3? It will be 7 teams. I thought there was going to be 8. The Ravens? Can they clinch? Maybe.
Hold on. Give me a second. 4 teams can clinch postseason spot in week 15. Vikings, Packers, Texans, Steelers all have the ability to clinch a playoff spot.
Packers has to be convoluted though, because they're two games behind us.
Okay, let's get out of this video, and once we get into the next video with predictions, I'll give you the rundowns. How about that?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, so that'll be all for our power rankings. Next video up will be our predictions for week 15. And then on to Sunday. Hopefully our teams can keep winning. Pray to God. Uh, um, but yeah, we'll get through that and we'll see y'all next Tuesday after our predictions video. Peace.